Act 3 The Merchant of Venice. Scene 1. In the scene, the plot begins to develop towards a crisis. There are rumors about Antonio's ships being wrecked, even as Shylock's rage boils over with the loss of his daughter and riches to a Christian. Taunted by Salenio, Shylock makes a passionate speech on the commonality of human feelings and sufferings, and we know for sure that he will have his penalty. Shylock alternates between grief at his daughter's betrayal and elation over Antonio's loss. The scene ends with Shylock instructing Tubal to hire a lawyer much before Antonio's debt is due. The action is now set for the climax. Venice, a street, enter Salarino and Salanio. Now, what news on the Rialto? Salarino, why, yet it lives there unchecked, that Antonio hath a ship of rich lading wracked on the narrow seas. The good winds, I think they call the place, a very dangerous, flat, and fatal, where the carcasses of many a tall ships lie buried. As they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word. Salenio, I would she were as lying a gossip in that as ever nabbed Ginger or made her neighbors believe she wept for the death of a third husband. But it is true without any slips of prolixity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, that I had a little good enough to keep his name company. Salarino, come, the full stop. Salenio, ha, what sayest thou? Why, the end is he hath lost a ship. Salarino, I would it might prove the end of his losses. Salenio, let me say Amen betimes, lest the devil cross my prayer, for here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. Enter Shylock. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants? Shylock, you knew none so well as you of my daughter's flight. Salarino, that's certain. I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wings she flew with hell. Salenio, and Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was and then it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam. Shylock, she is damned for it. Salarino, that's certain, if the devil may be her judge. Shylock, my own flesh and blood to rebel. Salarino, there is more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory, more between your bloods than there is between red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio have had any loss at sea or no? Shylock, there I have another bad match, a bankrupt, a prodigal who dare scarce show his head on the Rialto, a beggar that was used to come so smug upon the mart. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to call me usurer. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to lend money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond. Salarino, why, I am sure if he forfeit, thou wilt not take his flesh. What's that good for? Shylock, to bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He had disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not the Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, feed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same disease, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer? As a Christian, as a Christian is, if you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by the Christian example? Why revenge the villainy you teach me? I'll execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction. Enter a servant. Servant. Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desires to speak with you both. Salarino, we have been up and down to seek him. Salenio, here comes another of the tribe. A third cannot be matched unless the devil himself turn Jew. Exit Salenio, Salarino, and servant. Enter Tubal. Shylock. How now, Tubal? What news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter? Tubal. I often came where I did hear of her, but cannot find her. Shylock. Why, there, a diamond gone cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. The curse never fell upon our nation till now. I never felt it till now. 2,000 ducats in that, and other precious jewels. I would my daughter were dead at my foot, and the jewels in her ear. Would she were pierced at my foot, and the ducats in her coffin. No news of them. Why so? And I know not what's spent in the search. Why thou loss upon loss? The thief gone with so much, and so much to find the thief. And no satisfaction, no revenge, nor no ill luck stirring, but what? Lights on my shoulders, no sighs but of my breathing, no tears but of my shedding. Tubal. Yes, other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa. Shylock. What? Ill luck? Ill luck? Tubal. Hath an argosy castaway coming from Tripolis. Shylock. I thank God. It's true. Tubal. I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the wreck. Shylock. I thank thee. Good Tubal. Good news. Ha ha. Where? In Genoa. Tubal. Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard, in one night 40 ducats. Shylock. Thou stickest a dagger in me. I shall never see my gold again. 40 ducats at a sitting. 40 ducats. Tubal. There came divers of Antonio's creditors in my company to Venice, that swear he cannot choose but break. Shylock. I am very glad of it. I'll plague him, I'll torture him, I am glad of it. Tubal. One of them showed me a ring that he had of my daughter for a monkey. Shylock. Out upon her, thou torturest me. Tubal. It was my turquoise. I had it of leave when I was a bachelor. I would not have given it for a wilderness of monkeys. Tubal. But Antonio is certainly undone. Shylock. Nay, that's true. That's very true. Go, Tubal. Fee me an officer. Bespeak him a fortnight before. I'll have the heart of him if he forfeit. For were he out of Venice, I can make what merchandise I will. Go, Tubal, and meet me at our synagogue. Go, good Tubal, at our synagogue, Tubal. Exit.